Welcome back to Mental Health Matters. It's a brand new year. Happy New Year to everyone who is celebrating according to the Gregorian calendar. Let's keep in mind that different people have different beliefs and systems and structures that they follow. So I just can't sit here and assume that everybody is following the same calendar because I don't follow it. But it doesn't take away the fact that it's a new year for most people or most of us. So thank you so much for staying tuned in, for subscribing and liking the videos. Today we have a new video, the first video of the year, and I will be talking about burnout as the title suggests. So let's get into it. Okay, so I really think that most of us burn out a lot, especially on a daily basis in different situations. And when we talk about burnout, of course, it is closely associated with work and whatever it is that you're doing, whether you are working a 9 to 5, whether you have your own business, whether you are self-employed, whatever the situation really. And then, of course, it would be a matter of you working a lot to a point of exhaustion and then experiencing a burnout. So I just have a different perspective on this, and this is something that hit me so hard, especially at the end of 2022, because I experienced burnout and I didn't even know. Yes, I'm in the mental health space, and it should be obvious, right? It should be obvious for me and many other people, and I should be able to tell. I guess that would be the expectation. I should be able to tell when I am about to experience a burnout, or be able to see the signs around that. But actually, this time around, it presented itself as something different, and I genuinely thought that I'm not feeling good. So I knew I was tired mentally, physically as well. And I just experienced like symptoms that were just minor or major sometimes because, for example, I would feel hot and cold. So that's giving fever vibes or like a flu. And then I would have chest pains. I would feel like my chest is closing up and opening up. So breathing problems and just feeling very stiff, headaches, and so on. And I generally thought, okay, maybe I'm getting, change of season because in South Africa, which is the southernmost part of the world, it's summer right now. And I'm just thinking, of course, October, November, that is when summer really begins to kick in. And I'm thinking, okay, change of season situations, let me just chill. And it got worse. And I, of course, consulted with a doctor, a medical doctor. And she was like to me, you are burned out. You are burnt out. Don't you know that burnout can present itself as a physical illness, a flu, a fever, fatigue, whatever, maybe a high blood pressure, a low blood pressure. So anything that's physical, it can present itself as that. And those symptoms will play out like that and affect your body for as long as you're burnt out. And if you just keep going and keep going, and of course, it's going to get worse and lead to something else that's even worse in your body. So all of this is happening where in your body. But then it was so tricky for me because I could not tell when this actually, I was like, how do I connect it? How do I connect the two? Yes, I knew for a fact, it was obvious that I was feeling tired. I'm feeling exhausted. I feel like I just want to sleep. I feel like I don't want to do anything. But then how it got to that point, I can't tell you. And this is exactly why I'm here. This is exactly why we are talking about this, because so many of us go through a lot, and you know that you feel tired, you know that you feel exhausted, you know that you don't feel like doing anything, you don't feel like talking, you don't feel like anything. And we take it so lightly. We keep going, or I don't care, let me just sleep, let me just do this, to try and rub off, to try and avoid the feeling. But inside, physically, mentally, it is just causing a lot of damage. And we somehow just have to keep going. That's society, right? You just have to keep going, keep going. Don't listen to how you feel, because it's going to waste your time. And I completely understand. People have to work, people have to provide, people have to do things, people have commitments. I get that. But then what happens then if you find out that maybe you have a chronic illness, maybe you have something that is life threatening? What happens? And all along you just be like, I'm feeling tired, and you just keep going. What happens? And this made me to help us redefine. Let's come up with a new definition of burnout. And I think burnout, when we truly analyze it, because it's hard for us to make a connection as to how does it affect you physically. You have a flu, but apparently you're burned out. How? You can't breathe, you have chest pains, your body's aching, you have a headache, but apparently you burn out. How? So I really think it is that point when you you are resisting how you're feeling. You are avoiding how you are feeling. You are choosing not to listen to what you are feeling. It is at that point where you decide, and you remember, you have a choice. You decide to keep going. You decide to keep pushing. It is at that point that burnout occurs. This is the point where burnout really begins to attack you, because you are resisting, you are fighting off the feeling, you are in denial, you are not choosing to listen to your body, you are not choosing to listen to your mind. And by doing that, that is the point where it begins. Now, this is not an isolated situation. I'm not only talking about a work situation. I'm not only talking about, I don't know, doing something for many, many hours every day. I'm not talking about that. It plays out in every situation. The minute that you decide not to listen to how you're feeling, for example, in a relationship, for example, with something that you really, really want, or you need to get, or you want to do, and you are beginning to resist something, you are beginning to apply resistance, that causes a burnout, a decline in your energy levels drop, and something gets attacked. So this is why it is so important for us to be able to listen to our thoughts, to be able to reflect every day. What is the one thing that is just continuing to run your mind? Something that is just there, and you're trying by all means to avoid it. You're trying by all means to act like, actually, I just gotta keep, I don't have a choice. I need to keep going. I need to keep doing it. What is that one thing? Because that one thing that you keep on ignoring, it needs your attention. It can be anything. And failure to actually listen, failure to actually pay attention to that, definitely leads to some form of burnout. It leads to a low self-esteem. It leads to you not being able to take a chance in things that you really want to try out. That is a form of burnout. But of course, when it comes to the body, it presents itself as an illness. It presents itself as pain, as something that is uncomfortable going on in your body, that is going on in your body. But when we talk about your perspective, what you think about yourself, your self-belief, all the things that you're doing, the things that you're investing your time, your energy, your effort in. And if you have a certain denial and you're applying resistance, you burn out. You burn out. How can you possibly pursue something if you feel like, oh, I don't want to do it. I can't do it, but you really, really want to do it. Let's say you really want to do something. You really want to travel to that place. You really want to pursue someone. You really want to pursue something. And something in you is like, oh, what if I get rejected? I'm not good enough. I'm not this and I'm not that. Well, the truth is, it's not going to get any better. Whether you get rejected or not, it's not going to get any better because you burn out that energy, that drive, that idea, that thing that pushed you to want to pursue something burns out. So meaning you will not have enough strength. You will not have the strength to pursue it again. You will not have the motivation. You will not have the resources, the belief system, whatever it is that you need to go for it again. It's just going to be extra hard. It's just going to be more tough to run after whatever it is that you need. And this is how burnout plays out. It's the same as bottling up. When you bottle up all that energy, everything that you're bottling up, everything that you're not expressing, everything that is bothering you and you need to express, but you're not expressing, it burns you out. It burns you out. Definitely, it will go to a part of your body. It will go to a part of your life where it will just settle and destroy. Like I always say, it's really difficult to get through these kinds of things because we don't physically see it happen. You don't have an idea of what's going on in your mind and look at how when you are not expressing something, it goes on to this process of destroying, you inside, destroying your mental health system. We can't see that. It's not physical. It's not something that we can see. And I think that is the most difficult thing ever. And the best way to navigate that, the best way to figure that out is to always listen to how you feel. Listen to how you feel. What you choose to do about it, it's entirely up to you. I mean, I can be here and be like, you need to pay attention to how you feel. And you need to do this and you need to do that. But that's entirely up to you. The problem is that when we decide, when we choose to just deny, to just be in denial and act like this is not something that you're feeling at this moment, this is not something that you're experiencing at this moment, I really think that this is where things just go to a whole completely different direction. So self-awareness is really important. And for me, I just kept on feeling tired. I just could hear myself saying it to myself that I'm tired, but I couldn't do anything. How many of us go through that? How many of us go through that process or are constantly hearing that voice, that thought that you are tired, I can't do this, I hate this, I don't like this. And yes, that is negative, right? That can be classified as negative self-talk. And you don't need to entertain it. You don't need to listen to anything that is negative. But whatever it is that you classify as negative is actually there to warn you. It's actually there to give you a sign that something is not in balance, something is not working out very well. So instead of trying to overlook that, instead of trying to cover that up and to keep going, it's very important for you to stop and ask yourself, what is it that you need to do? What is it that you need to do? And I know there's this whole thing of, I've tried everything. There are people that genuinely listen to their emotions, listen to their feelings, and they get tired because you're like, I've tried everything. For example, I'm feeling tired. Maybe you rest, you sleep, you do it all, but it feels like the feeling is just not going away. And I think this is the point where you need to really introspect. You really need to get creative, because it means whatever it is that you have been trying to do, or whatever steps that you've been taking, trying to find a solution to that problem, trying to figure out how you can stop feeling that way. Whatever it is that you've been doing hasn't been working. It's not working. So it means that you need to find a better way. You need to find a better source. You need to try something different. You need to take a different route and see if that helps. And sometimes, not even sometimes, environments greatly affect our mental health. An environment will affect your mental health. An environment, when you talk about environments, we are talking about different types of environments, right? An environment can be literally a place that you go to, literally a place that you live in, a place where you belong to, that can be toxic, that can be misaligned, and that can create a misbalance, an imbalance, sorry, in how you function every day. So that can be one issue. Another issue, environments, remember, are symbolized by the people that are around you. The people that you spend time with make a great deal of your environment. They play a big role in your environment. So that is something that's also big. Like, what do you talk about? What do you engage in? What kind of topics, what kind of activities do you do together? Are they benefiting you? Are they breaking you down? Are they empowering you? Are they making you feel more tired, more drained? What's the deal? Those things are representatives of your environment, the people, the places, the structures that you're in. And that can affect you. So if you have that kind of situation where the environment is not good, is not healthy, is not balanced at all, and here you are trying everything that you can, obviously it will not work. Obviously things will not work because why? You need to change something about the environment, or you need to remove yourself out of that environment, or you need to create barriers, you need to create boundaries and figure out how you can still play your part if you don't have a choice, right? Because in some cases we don't have a choice. We just don't have a choice. We have to be in that particular environment to fulfill a particular need, such as jobs, right? If you feel that you are in that moment and it seems like at that moment you can't get out immediately, then it is a good idea to figure out how you can adjust the role that you play and what boundaries do you need to put in place to make sure that you are not negatively impacted by that environment moving forward. So this is what I wanted to talk about. I hope it can really help us and empower us into this new year, especially where as we continue to do the things that we're doing for some of us, and for some of us as we venture into new things, new environments, new spaces, make new connections with new people and so on. Let's try and figure out how we can try and change the old ways that are not working and find something new that will work for you. So thank you so much. I hope that this was helpful, especially at this point in time. By the way, I am going to be posting up some of my podcast episodes. I will be talking about mental health in workspaces, in jobs and environments. Particularly, I'll be focusing on that, and my podcasts are on Spotify. Link is in the description below, and you can also choose to follow me on that platform as well and listen up to a more detailed and extension of how mental health is impacted in the work environment and spaces, and particularly the work that you do. Thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.